Good afternoon, student athletes, coaches, staff, and fans, and welcome to Art Keller Field on the campus of Carthage College for today's women's lacrosse season opener between the DePauw Tigers and your Carthage College Firebirds. Let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Tigers, a senior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 4, Quinn Tegenkamp. A freshman from Issaquah, Washington, number 6, Emerson Perea. A senior from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 12, Kaylee Clark. A freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 14, Kate Sullivan. A senior from New Albany, Ohio, number 15, Bridget Driscoll. A freshman from St. Louis, Missouri, number 17, Rosalie Tasker. A freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 20, Mary Mason. A freshman from St. Louis, Missouri, number 21, Lucy Kinnair. A sophomore from Reading, Massachusetts, number 23, Kate Leone. A freshman from Hudsonville, Michigan, number 26, Kinsey McAleese. A sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, number 28, Sydney Shields. And a freshman from Baltimore, Maryland, number 33, Liam Callahan. The head coach of the Tigers is Corey Reese. Coach Reese is assisted by Kaylee Riggins. And now, fans, let's meet your Carthage College Firebirds. A junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 2, Shannon Heitschmidt. A sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois, number 3, Augie Claridge. A junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 4, Rosie Nolan. A junior from Aurora, Colorado, number 5, Hannah Kim. A sophomore from Mount Prospect, Illinois, number 7, Sophia Winterkorn. A junior from Algonquin, Illinois, number 8, Kylie Higgins. A senior from White Bear Lake, Minnesota, number 9, Sydney Kuyeva. A sophomore from Park Ridge, Illinois, number 13, Caitlin Goff. A freshman from Lino Lakes, Minnesota, number 18, Isabella Kuyeva. A junior from Crystal Lake, Illinois, number 19, Piper Lefevre. A sophomore from Chesterfield, Mississippi, number 20, Bailey Castle. And in goal, a sophomore from Fishers, Indiana, number 30, Cara James. The head coach of the Firebirds in her first season, Maddie Burney. Coach Burney is assisted by Rachel Harris and Alessandra Almendares. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise if able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
welcome you in here to Art Keller Field. It is Chris LoBosco here with you as we get ready for the first game of this college women's lacrosse season for the Carthage Firebirds as they will take on the DePauw Tigers. So glad you are here with us. As you can see up on the screen right now, the DePauw Tigers team. They are a team that is very much heavily underclassmen. Only a total of 4 juniors and seniors on their team, as that will be who the Carthage Firebirds take on today. For the Firebirds, a lot of returning starters coming back this year, as we have a new head coach as well in Maddie Burney, who, a former player, actually one of the games that I first got to call was a game in 2023, and Maddie Burney, actually everybody on this coaching staff was a part of Rachel Harris as well as Alessandra Almendarez. As the video scoreboard is out, so it'll be interesting to watch as how time is being kept here, but we can see here Carthage and DePauw coming out onto the field. One of the important things here for Carthage that Maddie Burney wanted to stress was coming out strong to a fast start, because in the CCIW, Carthage is currently in the preseason poll expected to be a second place team. They want to obviously push for first, but high expectations on this team with a lot of returning starters. Still a lot of young players that are coming in as well. One of those in particular too will be Isabella Kuyeva, who is coming in as a freshman to start along with her sister, as we're going to have Piper Lefevre here coming in to take this opening draw to start off this first quarter. As that one goes over to the far sideline, looking to try and pick it up for Carthage and get possession as well, as they will now start onto the offensive side. It looks like that was Caitlin Goff who picked that one up. We'll now get this one down onto the offensive end so they can get their offense set up. 70 seconds on the shot clock here as we are starting off in this first quarter for Carthage here. A lot of offensive firepower here. Hopefully a longer season, or a full season too, from Piper Lefevre. Unfortunately had to miss a couple of games last year due to injuries, as she will be the one dodging in to take this first opportunity. Gets two players drawn to her, having to look to try and get that ball away. Finally does, as they now look to try and get that ball inside. Maybe will instead reset here. Still plenty of time on the shot clock to get an offensive opportunity on this one. This one will start on the near side. Dodging to her right is Castle. Castle will pass it back off down to X. Looking for something inside as they have a cutter coming in for the shot and the goal. As the Firebirds will start off a great offensive set. It looked like that was Claridge was the one who scored. As they will check the stick here. But a very good start here, and it was number 3, Augie Claridge, the leading scorer last year, 94 points, almost broke that 100-point barrier mark, had 83 goals and 11 assists last year. So it's good to see her get started off early for the sophomore offensive player, as they will now get set back up here for this draw at midfield, this face-off here. So very good start here for the Firebirds, exactly what you want to see. Want to see those players who were important last year getting involved again here. As this one up high into the air will be picked up by the Tigers. It'll be number 6 in Pereira. She will pass this one off to the far side. One of the big things that they're going to have, as you heard me say, is one of the assistant coaches was Alessandra Almendarez. They will now go full-time over to Kara Janes as that goalie, as that one gets into the middle there, but that ball hits the ground, and it's a quick pickup for the Firebirds as they look to try and transition onto offense, but the ball ends up back on the ground. Whistle goes there, so it will be back over for the Firebirds, as they will now try to clear this ball. Pass misses one, but right behind to help out is Castle, and Castle will run this one down. Player coming in from behind, she avoids that, her stick getting checked, as they will now work back onto the offensive side. Slowing things down here, 35 seconds left in the shot clock though only, so they will have to at least be aware of that. They are working on a short shot clock. Piper Lefevre now with the ball as she works this one back over to Claridge. Claridge dodging inside as Audrey Claridge ends up getting a call here. Didn't see the signal from the official, but I believe this should stay with the Firebirds. Looks like this will be at the top of the 12-meter fan, I believe. So not the best opportunity, but Claridge will just pass this one off. This one come over to the near side as Castle looks to dodge in, has a pick set out in front, tries to switch back over to her right hand, takes the shot and scores! Right down the middle, made that one for the 5-hole. It looked like it might have gone through as well on the shot for Castle to make this a 2-0 game. Of course, got to have the stick check go first. Make sure that was good. There was only 5 seconds left on the shot clock, too, before that shot went off. So they were really getting close to the end. I guess it didn't seem like it took that long to transition over to the offensive side. But either way, they get the goal, have that 2-0 lead. So a 2-0 lead for the Firebirds, and this is something, there was a call earlier, a little bit about a week and a half ago, that Dr. Pete, who you might know from hearing here on these airwaves, and Peter Ferrari, who does a lot of the broadcasts here at Carthage, had a call with the new head coach and former player Maddie Burney, and one of the things that she talked about with him was wanting to get off to a hot start, send a message here, and if the offense continues to go this way here in the first quarter, we could be in for a great one. Very young team that they're going against in DePauw. You have to assert your dominance, and that's something that they've done up until this point. Another control on the face-off here for the Firebirds as they will get set up on the offensive end. Pass over to Claridge on the near side as they work this one down to the bottom right, and they'll work it back to X to get this offense set up, at least from behind. We'll see if they decide to dodge from here. They like to dodge from up top. That's where they do a lot of their setting up. Obviously, they'll work the ball around a few times, get the shape of the defense to change a little bit, as they now will look to transition here. Lefevre looking to dodge towards that right side. You see they clear out for her there. She takes the shot. That one gets blocked, ends up on the side of the net. Couldn't tell if that was considered a save or not, but either way, good job by the defense of the Tigers to force her angle to be a really tight one before she took that shot. So now they can transition back here onto the offensive side for the Tigers as that one comes to Claire. She's running down the near side of the field. That pass way off the mark, but great for the Firebirds as they will now have an opportunity to clear this one back off. You can see a lot of inexperience here. These players might end up being pretty good for the Tigers. They're going to get a lot of experience in this one, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores on this team. And they're going to have to compete with at least a very experienced starting group here for the Firebirds. As this one comes over to Kuyava, the freshman, passing it off to her goalie, looking for that clear through the middle. Wide open player, stuck on her feet though was Castle if she just started to move, but it's Audrey Claridge coming and bailing her out to get this one to the offensive side. 80 seconds left on the shot clock, so a lot more time to work the offense this time than their last possession, with a 2-0 lead here and 10 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Starting it down at X, but again, they'll probably work this one around once or twice before they set up their offensive opportunity from up top, and Claridge might be the one to dodge here from up top. You can see they try and get her isolated. Now the double comes. She has to find that player as that pass looks like it was off, so it'll be an opportunity here. You'd like to see Claridge maybe roll back because you have another player that can come and dodge from up top on the near side that she could have gone to. I think that was number 20 and Castle, who she could have rolled back to have that re-dodge opportunity. Hopefully she looks for that next time. It's not always, you don't always need to go down low after you make that dodge down the right alley. You can come back and find that player who can re-dodge from up top, and sometimes that'll be some of your better opportunities. As this ball coming down the near side of the field for the Tigers, as they will now get their offense set up really for the first time, as it will be Driscoll who has this one here. Driscoll making the pass over to the near side to Claire. Claire working this one down. And that's another missed pass. Just haven't had that connection there. That was Lucy Kinnair. Those two need to just get that connection there so they can at least work the ball around. They really haven't had the opportunity to work the ball around. And speaking of missed passes, this one's not going to hurt too much for Janes. But you want to make sure if you're making that pass back to your goalie, you make it a good one, because otherwise that can lead to some disaster, especially against some more experienced teams. Wintercorn making the pass over on the far side here for the Firebirds, as they will now get their offense set up again. Pretty quick transition here, so a lot of time to work with on the shot clock as they will look to get set up. As you can see, they're maybe starting to deny some passes as well, but it's not going to stop them from getting their offense set up as they pass it to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt over to the near side, Lefevre, as they look to now maybe dodge from down low. Actually looking for Lefevre, who was going on the give and go. Not quite able to connect on that one from the pass from Claridge. Ball is on the ground and finally will get controlled by the Tigers. And they will come back up on the near side. The defense starting to pick up for the Tigers. They've spent a lot of time down there too, but they're having trouble right now. The ride being pretty successful for the Firebirds, at least causing some time to be taken off of this clock as they still try to get this ball past midfield. Having a player come back over on the near side in number 20 in Mason, as ends up getting a whistle here, as I think it's going to stay with the Tigers. Oh, did I see him pull out? Did I see him pull out a card too? It was tough to tell. So it looks like it's going to be a penalty on Audrey Claridge, so she will go into the box. So it'll be an opportunity here for the Tigers. We'll see what they can do with the advantage. Pass into the middle to Sullivan, who works it over to number 15 in Driscoll, as they're looking to get set up here. Driscoll looking for the player, cutting it inside, and that shot and goal. Looks like that was number 12, and Kaylee Clare, as she will make it a 2-1 game. So they quickly make that opportunity count on the extra player advantage. So Claridge will be able to go back out onto the field now after that goal. And you've got to give some credit there to the Tigers. You know, they've had some troubles on the offensive side, but when you have those extra player opportunities, when you're up a player, you have to make every one of them count if you can. And they did almost immediately. And then looking at it for Claire, Kaylee Clare last year, 31 goals and 11 assists, 42 points. One of the top four leading scorers from 2024. Only two are returning. The top one, Ann Clare, who is the fourth. So, of the players for the Tigers that need to be involved in this game, if they want to try and make sure they keep up, is definitely those players with that experience, especially when you, again, we talk about they have a lot of young players on this roster. As another face-off controlled, this time it goes to Higgins for the Firebirds, as she gets a good, let's see, I thought it was pretty good of a stick check, but they're going to say no, so it's going to stay with the Firebirds here, as Higgins will quickly pass this one off to Lefevre. Castle with it now here, and I think we've got a stoppage in play again. Not sure what the stoppage is for this time. Officials are getting together to talk. Not sure what about. I think they just might restart the play here. Maybe it was just too quick of a restart is maybe what we saw happen here. So either way, it's Lefevre with the ball now as they look to work this one around. They've got a fresh shot clock to work with as well. And we've got another whistle. The shot clock might be the issue that they're talking about, because again, that was weird that they had a fresh one, I thought. Yep, they take 6 seconds off the shot clock. So 70 seconds on the shot clock here for the Firebirds. Still plenty of time to work with to get their offense set up, which they have been very effective on, at least so far. Only a 2-1 lead. Claridge, though, working her way inside, has two players on her, gets her stick checked, picks the ball back up, tries to just pass it off underhanded to Lefevre. That ball bounces around, and then it's going to, there was going to be a whistle, but they hold it off because the Tigers got the ball. Quickly trying to transition onto the other side is Sullivan, running down the middle of the field, and now she will elect to just slow things down, try and let them get their offense set up. They haven't even had, almost had another pass go off there, Leon, with the, getting that one out of the air. And this ball ends up on the ground again, and the Firebirds will take control. So defensively, they've been pretty good, even strength, and they're going to get a little bit of a trip there, so this will stay with the Firebirds. Haven't really been able to see much, though, the other way around, as it will be over to Higgins, who, running in, may have an opportunity if she elects to go in, switches from her left to her right, loses the ball, though, and now it will be back over for the Tigers. It's Driscoll again. Driscoll has done a lot of yeoman's work here, getting that ball from the defensive side to the offensive side. They just haven't been able to control it on the offensive end for the Tigers because of, one, a lot of pressure from the Firebirds, but also just missed passes. So, again, we'll see if they can slow things down here for the Tigers and get a good offensive set as they pass this one back up top to Driscoll. Driscoll looking maybe to go in. Getting some pressure on her, though, spins away from it, and now makes a pass off to the far side. Split dodge in from Wagner, loses the ball as she gets her stick checked. Ball on the ground, trying to pick it back up was Tasker, and Tasker does for a second. And now this one ends up on the ground, and this should be for the Firebirds here if that one gets picked up, and it does. And now you might have the odd man opportunity here going the other way. It's Claridge running down, looking for that pass right inside the shot. And that one's going to go wide. I think it might have gotten a piece of it was the goalie in Callahan on the shot from Higgins. Ooh, that was such a good opportunity, too. That could have made 3-1 for the Firebirds. And they're going to keep it here regardless, so they can still get their offense set up. Nolan with the ball here. Running inside, has nobody come to her, takes the shot and scores! Walked in, didn't have the defense come to her after she beat one player, allowed her to get inside, get the goal, make this a 3-1 game with 2:40 left to go. So really, from the Tigers' perspective there, when a player is running free towards the middle of the field for an opportunity, you've got to, whoever the fire is, whatever the call is, that has to come. And I even think you saw the Tigers talking about it defensively over after that goal, about how they want to make sure they take care of that next time. But for the Firebirds, creating the opportunity to have that free run, great dodging that they've had so far in this game, and then also really good placement of shots. A lot of the shots are on the goal. So, and they're scoring. So, 3-1, the lead right now. Looking to maybe make it 4-1. Lefevre back in here for this face-off. She has been really good at this. She was really good last year as well at trying to control draws. Wins this one cleanly over to the near side. You know, normally you get the caster's curse after that. Not happening that time, as now they will quickly work into the offense here. Rosie Nolan, running inside. She's going to slow things down now as they are subbing players in and out for the Firebirds. And actually, Sophia Wintergård getting a different stick, I believe, too. I think I saw her come off the field to get a new stick. Interesting. I'll have to find out about that eventually. Because coming from the men's game, I don't know how different things can be with sticks. So that's actually a question that I'll have to try and get answered at some point. Claridge, though, with the ball over on that far side. I believe that was Claridge looking for the pass inside, and another goal for the Firebirds. The offense really starting to get rolling now. Try and see who that was who scored. Looks like that was Kaylee Higgins, who ends up getting the goal. And it was Higgins. So 4-1 Carthage now, as the offense is exploding here in quarter number 1, and we still got a minute and 52 left.
The Fireworks goal scored by number 8, Kylie Higgins.
So for the offense for this Firebirds team, they kind of are picking up where they left off. They were a high-scoring team last year, little over 13 goals a game. And with how it's starting so far, looks like they might keep on track about that 13 that they were putting up. This one high into the air by Lefevre. Now it's all about the ground ball. Going to be controlled by the Tigers. Right now, Bridget Driscoll has been the one making sure that they at least keep control of this. Switches from her left to her right hand here to make the pass off to the near side to Perea. Perea dodging in. Nobody coming to her. Gets forced away, though. So she's not able to get inside. And, oh my goodness, that one. Not sure what happened there for Delina Underwood. But she lost that ball, and now it's going to be back over for the Firebirds. So continually just miscues right now being the death of the Tigers. But for the, and she did step on the line there for Kuyeva. Wasn't sure if she was going to run out of room or not, and she did. So now quick transition here for DePauw. Under a minute left to go. So we're at a minute here for this first quarter. This ball getting passed in behind. Lots of time as they try to get a pass into the middle. Good deflection and then picked up by Lefevre. Has a player right behind her, but she's avoiding everyone so far. Running to the near side. Switch to that left hand. Makes a pass off. Trying to get it over to Claridge. Claridge can't quite get the pass. Finally gets control. Then didn't see what the call was either way. Quick restart. Ooh, that looked like a little bit of a ward there from Driscoll. No call. As she runs in on the left side. Loses the ball. Tries to pick it back up. Gets hit away from her. But the ref calls a foul on the Firebirds, so it stays with the Tigers. Ball ends up back on the ground, and then another whistle. So, will be a opportunity here with, well, no opportunity, because the clock just ran out. So, after one quarter, it is 4-1 for the Firebirds. A pretty good first quarter for them. They have been pretty hot on the offensive side. They haven't really, I mean, defensively, it's tough to tell how they've really been playing because the Tigers have had a lot of trouble just keeping the possession in this first quarter. I don't know if it's nerves being the first game of the year for them, and a lot of those players, again, younger players on this team. In the starting lineup itself, there was multiple freshmen getting the start here for the Tigers. So you have a lot of inexperience at the college level that you have out on the field. And whether it might not seem like it because going from high school to college, it's a big jump. It really is. It is a very significant jump. Even if you're a player that's played a lot of high competition, it's still a jump in competition when you go to the collegiate level. And when you talk about a team on the other side in the Firebirds who they're a fairly young team as well. They only have on their roster, I believe it was 8 upperclassmen. So they still have a lot of underclassmen, but of those underclassmen, a lot of those sophomores were significant players last year on this team. You look at Audrey Claridge, she is a sophomore, and she was the leading scorer as a freshman for the Firebirds with those 94 points. You look at Wintercorn. She was another player who was playing last year as well, who got to see some time, who is now stepping into a starting role. You have a bunch of players who are really experienced. You know, you have Sydney Kuyava, who is a senior, so she's been a important part of this team for a long time as well. And that's just naming a couple, right? We could continue on. There's multiple players on this Firebirds roster in the starting roster who have seen significant time in even some of their younger careers, and you have a good mixture of some juniors and seniors too. So I think she'll be happy at least with the start here for Maddie Burney. There was, of course, some mistakes, some things to clean up for the Firebirds, right? Like when they were a player down, they immediately gave up the goal. That's something that they'll probably want to make sure that they clear up, because this could be a 4-0 game at this point if they don't give up that opportunity. There's a couple of things on the clears that they can probably clear up. Offensively, though, when they've gotten into their offensive sets, they've looked very, very good. That is the one area that I think she'll be very happy with how this team has started out. And I think faceoffs have been very good as well. I think their faceoffs have been fantastic. They've been really good on the ground balls. I think they've only lost a couple of them so far. The couple that they lost, sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. So, a very good start for the Firebirds in quarter number 1. But they're going to want to continue that here on into quarter number 2 as they look to get ready to start this second quarter. As it'll be Lefebvre, I believe, again, taking the draw here at the start. The other thing, too, that I talked about it a little bit earlier, Alessandra Almendarez, who was a pivotal player as the goalie for this team for a long time, now part of the coaching staff, so that's cool to see. But you now have a player in Kara Janes who's gotten some time in goal, got a little bit of time last year, and has looked pretty good so far. Hasn't been tested too much yet, so that's one thing. You almost kind of want the Tigers to test the defense here a little bit of the Firebirds, just to know what you have going on. But I will say the aggressiveness on defense has not been lacking from the Firebirds and has definitely helped make things difficult on this inexperienced roster. This draw going to be one for the Tigers. This time it is Driscoll, as she will pass this one off, and they will look to get their offense set up. It's Sullivan over on the near side. Sullivan looking to maybe come and dodge around. We'll end up just pulling this one back out and try to reset. 68 seconds left on the shot clock here as that one goes off to Coffey. Coffey, a lot of defensive pressure on her. Gets the pass off, though, as they look to work this one down and behind. A lot of pressure. Whenever that ball goes behind, one thing I'm noticing here for sure, which has led to this turnover again, the Firebirds put a lot of pressure behind the net. Whenever that ball ends up below the goal line, you see a lot of aggressiveness trying to cut off the passing lanes, and it's been working out for them so far. Winterkorn on the near sideline. Ooh, almost stepped out here. Was tough to tell if she did. She came extremely close 2 or 3 times from stepping out. That ball going to end up on the ground here as Kuyeva, the Isabel Kuyeva, could not pick that one up. Kuyeva turned that one over, and it's Perea now with it for the Tigers. Perea passing this one over to the near side as they look to get set up. Finding a player in the middle. Not able to get the shot off, though. I think that was number 23 in Leone. I would have just taken that quick opportunity. I think she had an opportunity there, just didn't pull the trigger. You're not going to get many much better looks than what she just got. As they look for a pass inside again on the player coming, and that one a low shot, and it's blocked and saved by Kara James. Stonewalling that one. One thing I noticed too, and she was in her warm-ups, she fundamentally is very good at low shots. She fundamentally very sound with how she blocks those shots, and now they're doing a zero ride, so she's going to just continue to walk this one up until she sees an open opportunity. They are running a little bit low on time here, as they're going to get they've got a play that they're going to set up here to get this one off. Wide open player, well run clear over for Bailey Castle, and now Castle pass over to the near side, shot and goal from Rosie Nolan. A play off of, I think, was that 2 assists? I don't know. That might be Kara James with an assist, too. I'm trying to think if that was only 2 passes. Either way, the hockey assist, at least, I'm thinking. Either way, when you look at it, James on the clear, cool, calm, collected, finds the wide open player in Castle, who then finds an open Nolan to get the transition goal. 5-1 now for the Firebirds. And now it's going to be Lefebvre with the opportunity here to try and get another quick possession off the face-off where she has been stellar so far. Did lose that one earlier, but you're not going to win them all. We'll see how she does in this draw. As this one won. Well, it's a ground ball. Who can pick it up? And again, another good ground ball for Bridget Driscoll. As she passes this one over to the near side, over to Mason. Mason, driving in towards the middle of the field, will slow things down. Make a pass over to Claire. Claire looking for the player in the middle, and that one defended well by the Firebirds. They deny that pass from getting inside, and now they're quickly off to the offensive end. Oh, and Higgins, if she just caught that pass, they were off to the races. But it's picked up on the near side by Audrey Claridge, who now will pass it off to Higgins. Higgins, though, smartly and wisely will pull this one out and slow things down on the offensive end. So pass over to Goff as they work this one around. As it's back over to Goff now from Castle. And now Goff looking to take this one down low. Passes that one off. Looks like they'll do a little two-player game there, but that one drops out of the stick of Higgins. Higgins picks it right back up, drops it again, picks it up again. And now we'll look to dodge. Oh, she is losing the handle on that one for Higgins. Every time she tried to switch hands or make that move across her face, the ball kept coming out. So hopefully she'll be able to get that under control. It's a good stop on the right here. And now it's Claridge running down the middle, loses the ball, picks it back up, takes the shot, scores! Top right corner! What a shot from Audrey Claridge! Makes it a 6-1 game. So Claridge, stick is good, or was that 5-1? Am I getting ahead of myself here? Either way, great goal. It is 6-1. Okay, so I was right. 10:47 left here in quarter number 2. And the Firebirds offense really rolling here, and a timeout will be taken by DePauw. I think one of the things here for DePauw is they keep really pushing themselves into pressure. They are not looking for some of the easier paths to get this ball across the field. They're kind of making it harder on themselves at times. In part because the Firebirds are putting a lot of pressure on them. It has been a very high pressure game from the Firebirds. They are not letting anything be easy for them. So I think if you're the Firebirds, you feel good about this early performance here against the Tigers. But we're still early on in this first half. We've still got over 10 minutes left to go in quarter number 2. So the one thing that I'm sure that is being stressed by Maddie Burney right now is to keep the pedal down, keep the pressure on to grow this lead. One way to really send a good message here is if you can continue to grow this lead, continue to keep the pressure on, and not allow any more goals. You know, that one goal again was when they had the extra player advantage for the Tigers, but it was such a quick thing. So you want to keep that pressure on, keep that lead growing, and really try and make this a statement game. I think, though, if your head coach, Maddie Burney, who's in her first year as a head coach, was a player just a couple of years ago, for me, I broadcasted that game a couple years ago, so one of the games that she was in was a very, I think, eighth all-time in scoring for the Firebirds. So we're getting set up here for this next draw, and it looks like we're going to have, it looks to be Rosie Nolan who will take this one. Perea here. As this one going to be on the far side there, quickly picked up by the Firebirds as they will now get onto the offensive end quickly. Pass back up as they look to get their offense set up, let everybody get on. Player coming here from the other side of the field, but ball picked up back by Goff as she will now slow things down here on the near side. Pass it over to Heitschmidt. Shannon Heitschmidt will have this ball, take it down to X, and get the offense set up from there. Pass it back around. Lefevre with it now. Lefevre surveying as she starts to walk towards below the goal line, looking to dodge from there as she will get a whistle, and I think she's going to get that one out on the outer fan. I don't think she's going to be inside her, or is she? We'll see where they end up positioning her here. Where did the ball go to? I saw the ball for a second. Oh, no, she's just outside that 8-meter fan. So should be a good opportunity for her here. She gets inside, shoots, and scores! Piper Lefevre taking advantage after the foul to get the goal and extend this lead 7-1. Of course, have to make sure the stick is okay. Looks like we're good there, so that'll be a good goal. And the lead grows for the Firebirds to 6. Really just a great individual effort, too, from Piper Lefevre. So she starts her dodge initially from about goal line level, over on the far side, able to get inside, make the player have to foul her. She gets it now, just kind of outside the 8-meter fan is where she starts, but that's all she needs. And she's able to work her way inside, get a good shot off once she gets in after the restart to get the goal and grow the lead. 10 minutes left to go here in the first half. And nice for her here, too. She's getting a little bit of a break, not having to take all of these draws. They're allowing Rosie Nolan to get some time there as that ball ends up on the ground. Trying to pick it up was Claridge, ends up falling to the turf, which causes the Tigers to get the ball as they transition down the near side. Perea. Pass over to the near side. Ball ends up back on the ground. Have to try and pick it back up. Finally does as Tasker. As she will now pass this one into the middle of the field over to Driscoll. As they will work it around here. Tigers looking, honestly right now, they just want to have a good offensive possession. They haven't had many possessions that last. Anytime the ball goes below that goal line, there's a lot of pressure put on from the Firebirds again. And there it is. Another turnover caused. So a lot of self-harm for the Tigers in this game. And speaking of which, there's a potential turnover for the Firebirds. And this is another thing that's not going the Tigers' way either. Oh no, they said that the Tigers end up causing a errant pass and then another errant pass for the Firebirds, and they finally will get control. So they finally maybe start to get something back their way, and then they turn it over again. Pass almost picked off there, but it does get to Hannah Kim. Kim along the near side, passing this one down over to the offensive side for Higgins. Higgins just slowing things down to allow the offense to set things back up. Kim, a good job getting that ball down to the offense. Good defensive player here for the Firebirds. As this comes back over to the Goff on the near side. Goff now from the goal line looking for that pass into the middle, but that one can't get to Nolan. Ball bouncing towards that far sideline. Gets picked right back up. Good effort, ground ball from Claridge as she tried to go inside, ends up losing the ball. And this will go over to Callahan. Will now look to try and pass it over to the near side for Tegenkamp. And that one gets turned over. Getting inside, trying to get the shot. She lost her stick as she went down. No call, though, as it was Heitschmidt. They would have called a player going into the crease there, though. I saw the signal from the official. Either way, it's now the Tigers as they try to transition, and it's Heitschmidt again picking the ball up, taking it away, and keeping it on the Firebird side. Fresh shot clock for them here now, too. Is Heitschmidt looking to pass this one off. Heitschmidt was one of the top 3 leading scorers last year. Hasn't gotten into the scoring column yet, but her team is rolling. Lefevre looking to dodge inside, passes this one back up over to the far side of Claridge. Claridge looking to attack from the point, driving in towards the middle, takes that shot, missed it just wide. Looked like it was probably going to be saved though too, but you like the opportunity that she created for herself. Now looking for Lefevre inside, and that one goes wide, stays here. Good opportunity for Lefevre as they look to try and get a player free in the middle for Heitschmidt. Can't quite get her open off that off-ball pick, but you like to see that off-ball movement that they've had so far for the Firebirds. Dodge from up top from Castle. She looks to go in. Goes from her left hand to her right. Spins back to her left. Takes the shot. Good block down low. Tried to just sweep it in. Was Nolan. Hockey style. Couldn't quite do it. Tried to wrist that one in. And now it'll be the Tigers back the other way. Trying to get onto their offensive side. Good pressure put on the ride from Augie Claridge as they get that ball back. And now back into the middle. Rosie Nolan, it's going to be a 2-on-1 opportunity. Nolan making the pass over to the far side. And the goal from Heitschmidt as she just faked out the goalie to extend the lead. Again, extreme pressure on the ride. Makes this a 8-1 game, 7-goal lead for the Firebirds with 6:05 left to go here in quarter number 2. All that hard work that Heitschmidt did earlier finally paying off, gets herself her first goal on the season.
The score, Carthage 8, DePauw 1, 6:05 remaining in the half.
As they will now get set up here for this next draw. So it'll be Nolan again on the draw here. Rosie Nolan, especially with the lead what it is, you want to, let Piper Lefevre have a little bit of a rest as far as, on the draw. Also give you a little more opportunities on the draw to others. Both players are juniors here too, so they'll both be around at least for another year. And it's always good to have somebody else practicing those face-offs. Nolan's been pretty good on them so far. This one, though, not going to be won by it's going to be won by the Tigers instead. It's Driscoll, who will now try to get the Tigers offense set back up. Looking maybe to dodge here early on is Claire. Going to the right, has 3 Firebirds towards her. Has to find that open player. There should be someone passed towards the middle. Picked off again. Players in the right place at the right time for the Firebirds. And now it'll be Kuyava, and she goes down hard on that near side. Oh no. That was actually Hannah Kim. Hannah Kim, though, gets up. Looks like she's okay. That looked like it hurt a bit. But she seems to be okay. A little bit scary there, but she's going to get the ball here. Didn't see if we have a player. I think we might be a player up too for the Firebirds as they lose that ball there for a moment, and then a whistle. Oh, they're going to turn this ball over. This is a bad turnover, especially when they should be a player up right now. So it'll be Driscoll with the ball, holding onto it here, waiting for the whistle. And I think they were just told to run the clock. So clock starts to go. You wonder if they're going to double the pressure here, because this should be something that they should be trying to get this ball back, so that way they can get on the offensive end. As that shot goes wide and race for the ball, it'll stay with the Tigers. So they get themselves a shot opportunity here while they're a player down. Pressure being put on that far side. Haven't been able to get that ball back yet. Players running towards the middle of the field for the Tigers on that cut. No pass made. It'll be back up to Driscoll. Driscoll passing it to the near side, and that ball finally gets onto the ground. Oh no! I think Lefevre was trying to just pass it off to her goalie in Janes, and she put it in the net. Oh, well, you don't have to do a stick check on that. I think it goes to Driscoll maybe for the goal. I think she might have been the last one. I don't know who they give the credit to. I didn't see who touched the ball last for the Tigers. But it's going to be an 8-2 game. And they're going to talk this over because this is when you can't let things slide, right? You have this big lead that you've been growing. You are up a player for an opportunity here. This is the time when you need to be making sure that you're taking advantage of this, although I think now looks like Claire's penalty looks to have been over. But either way,
Tigers goal, 4:18 on the clock. Your score, Carthage 8, DePauw 2.
seeing if I could hear who they were giving credit to for the goal. That's one I'll have. That's one that you just got to go back and look and see who touched the ball last for the Tigers to give credit to. Either way, Firebirds back onto the offensive end, another draw one, as they will get their offense set up again. It's Goff onto the near side. Passing it down low over to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt working this one around over to that far side. Trying to see who that is there. I think that might be Claridge, but it's tough to tell from how far away she is. But either way, dodge inside, ball goes down. Actually, it was Higgins. It was as that ball ends up on the ground here, and I think we're going to get there was a foul called, so it'll be an opportunity from the 8-meter far side of that 8-meter fan. I believe that is Higgins who's got the ball currently. So Higgins goes in, takes the shot. Ooh, and that one hits off the side. A lot on that shot, too. Actually, a pretty good block. But now it'll be Heitschmidt looking for the pass inside. Can't quite get it there. Comes back over to the near side. Ball on the ground. Heitschmidt picking it back up off the turf. And we'll slow things back down. Pass back down low to Higgins again. Kaylee Higgins works it over to Piper Lefevre. Lefevre probably wants to make up for that accidental own goal as she looks to dodge down that right alley. Looking to get inside. She finds the far post for the goal. She gets that goal back for her team to make this a 9-2 game with 2:57 left to go. And the stick is good, so we're good there on the goal. So Lefevre making up for what happened earlier. Makes it a 7-goal game once again. So it looks like Lefevre, I think she might be going back on the draw. I saw her switch out sticks on the sideline. So I wonder if she has a stick that she uses specifically for taking the draw, and then a different stick for when she's on offense and defense. I wonder what again, I don't know enough about the sticks to know for sure. So that's something. It's always cool to see, though, those little things like that. So 2:57 left to go here. Lefevre wins this one backwards. And it's finally picked up by the Firebirds. As that was Bailey Castle. They'll just make this pass off back as they now work this one back over to the far side. Transitioning onto the offensive end. As they will now get set up. Looks like that's Heitschmidt with the ball here. She works this one down low. As the ball ends up on the turf, picking it back up was Emma McDonald. McDonald down low, tried to make that pass off, lost the ball, picks it right back up. I think that's McDonald. It's tough to tell from this view. But either way, Piper Lefevre Castle surveying. As it's now over on the near side for Goff. Goff looking to dodge inside. Gets inside, looking for the shot, and that ball doesn't get to the goal. Goff trying to pick it up off the turf, ends up back into the crease, though. It'll be Neve Callahan making the pass off and letting her team try to bring this one back up to the offensive side to McAleese as she works this one towards the middle. Ball ends up on the turf again. Picked up by the Firebirds. They have been stellar on the ground balls, making sure they keep possession when they can, or taking it away. Higgins slowing things down here. I believe we actually did have a penalty too earlier on that one. I didn't see the card. So there is a player in the box waiting to go back in. So this is a player up situation for the Firebirds looking to get another goal.
1 minute remaining.
As we hit the minute mark here in this first half, Lefevre surveying, sees two players in front of her, passes it off to the far side, for Claridge. Claridge back over to the left, or to her right to Castle, who has it in her left hand, switches to her right, gets stick check, ball ends up on the ground, and a whistle here. Let's see what's being assessed. I think this is going to stay with the Firebirds. So see where they're setting this one up. Is this one going to be from the top of the 8-meter fan? No, okay, they're positioning her over on the near side. So either way, it's Castle with the opportunity here. Just waiting for the whistle. As Castle now looks to get in. Ooh, that one hit off the knee of the goalie. Good save. As this will be picked up, and now the Tigers will go back onto the offensive side. Good opportunity that you had there for the Firebirds. Ooh, and a little bit of a push, I think. That should be the Firebirds' ball again. 20 seconds left. They got to go quick. They want to have one more opportunity here with 16 seconds left to go. As that ball ends up on the turf. And trying to pick it up was Heitschmidt. Can't quite get it here. 4 seconds left. Pass into Lefevre. Goes back over to Claridge. And they're not going to be able to get that shot off before time runs out here in this first half. But at the half, 9-2. The Firebirds with a comfortable lead here. They've looked pretty good throughout this game. A little bit of a lapse there towards the end, but I think sometimes you get maybe a little too comfortable with a lead. But I think they will be very happy with how this first half went. Still another half to play, though. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back here with the rest of this one of the Firebirds versus the Tigers. back quickly here at Art Keller Field. We'll quickly go over the stats here from the first half. It is a 9-2 lead for the Carthage Firebirds over the DePauw Tigers. As we look at the leading scorers there in that first half for Carthage, you had a goal from Bailey Castle, and 2 goals from Piper Lefevre, a goal from Kaylee Higgins, 2 from Rosie Nolan, 2 from Claridge, from Augie Claridge, and 1 from Shannon Heitschmidt. So those are your goal scorers for the game so far for the Firebirds. For the DePauw Tigers, Kaylee Carr has the lone goal, and then they still haven't figured out, I think, who was the last player, so they've awarded it as a team goal, at least for the moment, to DePauw, but I believe eventually we'll figure out a player who will get credit for that second goal. In net, Kara Janes right now, through the first half, has only allowed 2 goals, has only had 1 other shot on goal, which was a save. So, only 1 save for her so far, but again, defensively, great effort has come through for the Firebirds, making it incredibly difficult for the Tigers to even get offensive opportunities. As on the other side, for Neve Callahan, she has given up 9 goals and has made 7 saves throughout this first half. So a good first half for the Firebirds here. They'll look to continue that on into the second half. Try and get that timer rolling on the scoreboard too if they can get a 10-goal lead, because they might need it. The snow is starting to fall here again in Kenosha, Wisconsin, so it will behoove them to try and get that goal lead and try and get this game over before the snow can start to pile up. I think it will be okay as long as the lines are visible. Back in my college playing days, I did have a game that I played in where the game was canceled because they couldn't clear the lines fast enough. I think we were already into the second. I think we were into the second half already, or the beginning of the second half, and we were getting beat even worse though than the Tigers are right now. And that game just ended up getting canceled as a result, or finished as a result. They just called the score final. So, don't think we're going to have that happen here. We should be able to get this game going here eventually once the players come back out. Again, a 9-2 lead for the Carthage Firebirds over the DePauw Tigers, and we'll be back with the second half here in just a little. back here at Art Keller Field as we get ready for the second half to get underway here between the Firebirds and the Tigers here. The Carthage Firebirds with a 9-2 lead over the DePauw Tigers, looking to continue that dominance that they had. In fact, they've been so dominant, one of the goals scored by DePauw was actually scored by a Firebirds player on accident. So, as you can see here, the snow flurries are really coming down now. It's a cold one out there right now. It's been about 32 degrees all day today, currently 32 for the temperature here, as nothing quite like playing in a blizzard, that's for sure, and that's what we're in right now, as this one's one up into the air and controlled by the Firebirds, as they will look to get this one going onto the offensive end pretty early on. Player coming from the far side, and Hannah Kim, a lot of steam there, will slow things down instead. Now let the offense get set up. And again, I think for the Firebirds, they want to try and get this score to 10 and get that clock rolling and try and get out of here with a comfortable win. Piper Lefevre going to start the offensive onslaught off here first, dodging towards that right side. Didn't really push too hard to go down the alley. Was looking for that play off of it. Didn't quite get anything. A little too many players making that cut towards the middle, as now the ball will come back over to the near side and back up top for Castle. Castle now has that alley to the right. She can go down. Now looking off of that, goes for the shot. Easy save though. Good defense there. Didn't really allow her hands to get free to get a lot on that shot. And we had a whistle here. Maybe, I don't know if the goal stick was touched while she was making the pass out. Either way, Tigers with control here, but having trouble picking up the ball on the near side was, I believe that's Keller, as she gets checked there, and I think they're going to award that over to the Tigers. So, foul called. Ball stays with the Tigers. Is once again, the one thing for sure you cannot credit Driscoll enough for is at least getting this ball onto the offensive half for her team, for the Tigers. She has been important, at least in doing that. Now the rest around that has been a little rough though for the Tigers. That ball comes over to the near side as they work this one around, and again, ball ending up on the ground a little too often here for the Tigers has been part of the problem. As with the ball now is Perea. Perea being kept to the outside nicely by the defense, as it'll now be Claire. Looking to dodge in with that left hand. Gets inside, takes the shot. Save made. Ball not controlled, though, is the only thing. And then we have a whistle. To see. Missed the signal here. I think maybe it was, I don't know if it was a player going into the crease or what. Either way, it's Firebirds' ball. Ball's over on the far side, and failed clear there. Will turn the ball back over, and then it's turned right back over to Claridge, as Claridge will now just run down the middle of the field, runs past one, has one player to beat, looking to get inside, shoots, and that one's saved by Callahan. Make the pass off to the near side, as they look to try and clear this ball quickly. Coming down the near side of the field is Mason. Mason getting close to that sideline, but making sure to not get too close. Will try to roll away from the pressure. Actually, that was McAleese. McAleese will get that one off. And now the offense will get set up for the Tigers. 11:37 left to go here in quarter number 3. As Driscoll made that pass off, and they continue to work it down low. Over for Tasker. Tasker, 2 players on her, gets away from both. Now getting up towards the middle of the field, finds Driscoll. Driscoll looking for the pass inside, and that shot gets saved there. What a save from Kara Janes. That was a very good offensive possession from the Tigers. Find that player right on the crease where you want them, and a better save made by Janes, who now has been very good here on clears when she is in control too. Slowly just walking this one up. Zero ride being done by DePauw. So now Janes continues to walk this one forward, and we We saw this play lead to a goal off of just 2 passes last time for the Firebirds. We'll see where the player comes free this time. Nothing as of yet, and now we've got a player coming from the middle. Jane's still taking her time, not rushing this. They are eating into the shot clock is the only problem with nobody coming free. Jane's still just looking for a player to come free, looking towards the middle. Pass ends up bouncing right to a player in number 7 in Wintercorn. Wintercorn rolls away from pressure, has a player on her back, has to be careful to not lose the ball. She's right at midfield, coming down the near sideline. Good stick check, frees the ball up, and that will be a turnover. So a little too patient there for the Firebirds. Which leads now to an opportunity potentially for the Tigers as Mason runs past one. Have a player coming over to slow that down, looking for the pass into the middle. Not able to get a shot off, though, was Tasker. Tasker now down below at X. Looking for a player over on that far side. Ball hits the ground again, and then we've got a whistle. Then see a yellow flag come out from the official there. So I think we're going to have an 8-meter fan shot from the probably or an opportunity from the 8-meter fan. So free possession shot here, and that ball didn't go in. Picked up quickly in front of the net. I think it might have been a save. It was tough to tell if that was where that went. But either way, ball for the Firebirds for the moment. Have to get back control as it's picked up by Wintercorn. Wintercorn quickly passing it off over to Goff. Goff quickly hands it off to the middle of the field for Castle. Bailey Castle running down the middle and now taking it towards the near side. Almost got tripped up there, but manages to keep her feet. Either way, Castle with the ball. She did get tripped up a little bit. I guess they did call it. It's hard to hear the whistle from up here. Either way, Piper Lefevre wide open for the shot, and she just missed it wide. But there was a player right at X there, so the possession will stay. We've got another whistle. And I see Piper Lefevre coming off the field. Yellow card, too. So I didn't see what they called her for. I didn't really see the signal of what that was. It wasn't really a big gesture from the official to really be able to tell what she was calling her for. But either way, that is going to be possession for the Tigers as a result of the penalty. With 8:40 left to go here in quarter number 3. So a lot less scoring here in quarter 3. At least here in the beginning parts of it. Some pretty good defense from either side. Also just a couple of miscues, too, that are making things a little bit more tough. So ball bouncing. Tigers having trouble just getting this ball onto the far side. And you know what? It's worth mentioning, too. It gets a lot harder when it's snowing like this. When things are wet, when the sticks are wet, it's a lot harder to really control the ball anyways, as I believe that was Underwood with the ball. Passing that into the middle, or down below at X, excuse me. Looking for something in the middle is what I meant to say. So it'll now be back to Driscoll here. They scored quickly last time that they had a penalty called on the Firebirds. See if they can get another quick goal here. And we get a whistle. Something happening off ball, I believe. Not sure what the call was. But this should be another free position shot opportunity. I believe that's Driscoll who's going to get this. As she runs in, takes the shot. That one goes over the net. And I was going to say, I think the player was closer in Kuyava. And they do give it to her. Ooh, Kara Jane's had to be careful there. She almost went in and out of her crease. Either way. Makes the pass over to the far side. That's for Sydney Kuyava, who was the one who was closest to where the ball went out on the shot. So that's why the possession was rewarded over for the Firebirds. And now they can transition onto the offensive side. Try to let this penalty run out. And see they're in no rush to get things going. We'll pass it over to Heitschmidt down below. Heitschmidt on the near side, looking for something, passes it back over to Claridge. Claridge making a pass pass in, and the penalty is over, so Lefevre back out onto the field. Claridge picking the ball back up, looking for the pass inside for the shot. Oh, it gets stopped, but that was a hard hit onto Rosie Nolan. Hopefully she's okay. And that should be a player going into the box, too. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get another yellow card here. And this one's going to be on number 7 in Delana Underwood. As the trainer, I think, is going to check on Nolan now. Tough hit here. Tough to see a player go down. Hopefully she's okay. As she is being checked out. But it will be an opportunity here with the player in the box for the Firebirds once they come back from this. You can see some players now gathering here for either side as they await while she is being looked at in Rosie Nolan. So a player up opportunity, chance to make this a 10-2 game if they can get the goal. As Nolan's back up on her feet here, walking off under her own power, so hopefully she's not just a little shaken up, hopefully is all it is. It was tough to tell what exactly it was that was bothering her, but glad to see that she's getting off under her own power. I believe that was Emma McDonald going in place of her, the senior attack. We'll go in. We'll see if Nolan will come back in. And honestly, with the score being what it is, you know, if you don't want to be, you can be overly careful and just let her rest the rest of this game and make sure she's not hurt too badly. You hope she's good enough to come in, but at the same time, you just hope that she doesn't do anything to maybe injure herself more. But we are going to get a free position opportunity here right near the top of the fan. I believe that is going to be the player McDonald coming in, and she's going to just pass this one away to Piper Lefevre instead of going in for the shot. Interesting that that was the decision here, but you do have the player up, so you can try and take advantage of having the extra player. There's a lot of pressure being put on Heitschmidt from behind, and now they look for the pass inside, and then I don't know what happened there, but it looked like Goff got hit or something happened to her inside. So I think we might go right to the top of that 8-meter fan again for another free position shot. 6:08 left to go here in this third quarter. She hasn't picked up the ball yet, but it will be an opportunity for Kaylin Goff. As Goff runs in, shoots, and scores! So that will make it 10-2 for the Firebirds. And then I think we'll make the penalty be over as well. As looks like we're good there, and let's say 10-2 game. 6 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Makes it an 8-goal lead for the Firebirds. It's going to be Piper Lefevre taking the draw here to try and win this back. Get another opportunity for the Firebirds. 2 more goals too from Carthage, and that clock will start to run. Took a survey around her to see how she wanted to win this draw. As she wins this one sort of back, and it's actually going to be controlled by the Tigers instead, as they will quickly look to try and get a opportunity here. It's Claire. She gets forced out, picks the ball back up, and they will now work this one around. Looking to go quickly. Whistle, though. Something off ball, I believe, happened there. top of the 8-meter fan and takes the shot and scores. Was Kate Sullivan. Underhand shot there for the goal. Went low to low with the shot too, which generally you try if you're taking your shots. If you're going low, you usually want to change the plane that you're shooting on. So high to low, low to high, and then if you're taking a sidearm shot, you usually want to try and bounce it. Either way, 7-goal lead now for Carthage with 5:39 left to go here in quarter number 3. This time it'll be Bailey Castle, the sophomore, taking the draw for DePauw. And I believe that might be Driscoll on the other end for the Tigers. One cleanly for the Firebirds. As it's Caitlin Goff with the ball on the near side. 2 players on her. She drops the ball, ends up on the ground, quickly picked up by Mary Mason. Mason down the near sideline, has Lefevre right on her, and another player too, and that ball ends up into the hands. I believe that is Maddie Burney who ended up going right too. And now it'll be quickly passed off over to Lefevre after the restart. So the turnover, and now the Firebirds bringing this one down the near side is Winterkorn. Winterkorn trying to get onto the offensive end, has a player right on her back, gets past her, looks to take this one down low. She will pass that one off to Shannon Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt passing it over to the far side as they work this one around again and get this offense set up. Still 4:40 left to go here in quarter number 3. And Winterkorn switching sticks before she comes back in as the offense is getting set up. Dodging inside, but having to back away. Looked like that was Higgins as they work this one back down to the near side over to Claridge. Claridge coming out in front, shoots and scores! Augie Claridge, another goal from her in this game to extend the lead back. Check the stick, of course, and it's good, so the goal is good. Claridge, that's a hat trick for her.
And the Firebirds kill for number 3, Augie Claridge. The score, Carthage 11, DePauw 3, 4:15 remaining in the third.
Castle looking like she will be the one to take the draw here again for the Firebirds against Driscoll. Was won pretty cleanly last time by her against Driscoll, so see if she can do it again. Won it right to where one of her players was going. Easy ground ball to be picked up. See if she can do it again. Wins it to the same place again, and almost picked the ball up herself. Ball ends up in her feet, didn't see where it went, and now it's bouncing off multiple players. Ricochets over to Driscoll for the Tigers. Ooh, she bails on her pass, and now it will be Caitlin Goff passing it down to the near side. Augie Claridge coming in, looking to get past one. Will try to get inside. She does so, tries to get the shot off, and I think she's going to get an opportunity here. See where they decide to put her for this opportunity. So just outside that 8-meter fan, but it will be a free shot opportunity. Free position shot, excuse me. Restart here. Claridge looking to get inside, takes the shot low and scores. Makes it 12-3 for the Firebirds. So 1 goal away from getting that clock to run here. With all this snow coming down, I'm sure they'd be happy to do that for the Firebirds. And the stick is good, so we're good there. It's 3:44 left to go in this third quarter. I believe that's her 4th goal in this game now, too. So Claridge, continuing where she left off last year, was the leading scorer for this team, had 83 goals in 2024. See if she can continue that offensive onslaught here in 2025. Already off to a pretty good start here in game number 1. As we get the draw up into the air here, and this one on the ground, picked up by the Firebirds. So they get another opportunity here. Have to roll away from pressure though, but right to find Piper Lefevre as she comes right down the middle of the field. On that near hash for the football field, avoids pressure from one player, avoids the stick check, gets it off to Goff, and they now work this one back down low. Over on the far side, coming over to the near side, gets over to Higgins. Higgins now surveying, maybe looking for a pass. We'll just go over back to Lefevre as they will get the offense set up here again. A little bit of a different play they're setting up this time. Have players on that far alley as they set this one back down low. As that's where they'll go, and then we get a whistle here, seeing which official made the whistle. I think we had a whistle go against the Tigers. I think it was the third official that made that call. But either way, going to be a pretty good opportunity here again for the Firebirds. As that was Goff looking for a player cutting inside, and Lefevre can't quite get the shot off. Ball back on the ground. Find the player afterwards. Not able to get a shot off was Castle. Castle spins away, has the pressure. Ooh, that was a pretty aggressive stick check there, and she's running off the field immediately as Driscoll. She knew that she was getting a yellow card there. It was going to be a great opportunity for the Firebirds. Is Castle waiting for the whistle to restart the game. 2:34 left here to go in this third quarter. A goal here would start the clock, be a running clock. They work this one down to X. Oh, wide open, and they never made the pass to Claridge. I know she had a player behind her, but she could have quick sticked that one in. Instead, it goes back over to the far side to Castle. Whistle, and didn't see the signal from the official, but either way, great opportunity coming for Castle now. Officials just getting everybody set up first. As there's the whistle, Castle with the shot. Ooh, nice save made by Neve Callahan. Managed to just get a piece of that one and then clamp it down on the ground. Oh, but the turnover on the pass off. Oh, the shot just goes wide. Oh, I think that was Heitschmidt who stole that one away. It was tough to see the number, but she stole it on the clear pass from the goalie from Callahan. So Callahan makes a great save and almost turned it right back over, but it instead gets turned over in the middle of the field. Lefevre trying to pick the ball up. Ball bouncing around, finally does get picked up by Underwood. Ooh, and that's going to be a foul there. I think that ball will stay. And it was number 14 in Sullivan. And I think we're going to have a yellow card here go on to Emma McDonald. So McDonald into the box. So even right now for both of these teams. That was Underwood with the ball there. Underwood missed the pass, picks it right back up off the turf though, and now we'll run to the near side. And we got another whistle. Timeout is going to be taken by DePauw. Not a bad timeout to take while the possession is even. If you want to hold on and wait for your player to come out of the box, you can. I'm not sure what the time difference is in the penalties on either side, but not a bad thing to do. Talk over exactly how you want to go on this possession. If you want to wait till you have the advantage, which they can do. I don't know how much time they'd have to take off the clock to do that, but you are running out of time here in this third quarter. And they have a big lead that they are trying to cut into. But it is a very young team on the side of the Tigers. Again, I talked about it earlier on in this game. They only have 4 upper upperclassmen on their team. But for Carthage, again, this has been a fantastic start to the season. Almost up 10 goals. You've looked very good offensively. You've really only given up 2 goals defensively. One of them was they were a player up on the other side, so things have been really good. And you have to say, for the big shoes that Cara Janes has had to fill, which is something that head coach Matty Burney talked to with Pete Ferreri, Dr. Pete, before the season started, you'd have to say that right now, Kara's doing a great job. Especially now, she hasn't had a lot of shots that she's had to save, but there's another part that's just as important to the game of a goalie as saving the ball, which is running the clear. That is the goalie's job. You are the field general not only for the defense, but you are also the field general for the clear. Which, so far, Janes has handled it greatly, made some great passes too. Again, one of those clears led to a goal after only 2 passes. So a fantastic job doing that for Cara Janes. I'm sure that Alessandra Almendarez is happy seeing Janes step into her role and really handle it well so far. As the ball to Tasker for the Tigers as they get set up after that timeout for what they want to do here. As there's the shot and goal in the middle for Mary Mason. Got free inside for a shot, which will keep this lead from getting to 10. Goes back to 8 for the Tigers. Looks like the stick check was good, so we're okay there. Goal is good. And that will be, if there's one area where really the Firebirds will have to talk about it, is player up, player down. Those are things that they'll have to kind of talk about. Although I think Driscoll, is still in the box. So I think technically right now, that was an even goal. Regardless, we'll have the draw here in just a moment. It's Castle out there again to take this one. This one up into the air, cleanly controlled by the Tigers, and it gets over to Sullivan. Sullivan down the middle of the field, splits to her left hand, and now rolls away from pressure to let the offense get set up to Underwood. Underwood looking to drive the alley there, but can't quite hold on to the ball. It's passed back down low over to Tasker. And a whistle. I think this one's going on the Firebirds. So I think we're going to get a pretty good opportunity coming forward for Mary Mason. Ball ends up bouncing away from her. Got to get the ball first. As she gets set up here for this opportunity. She gets inside and scores! The lead narrowing again after the goal from Mary Mason. As this lead that was almost up to 10 is starting to shrink. As we have another goal for the Tigers.
Tigers goal on number 20, Mary Mason.
We'll see how Maddie Burney wants to handle things here. As she sees her team faltering a little bit. They've let up 2 quick goals. They still have a significant lead, and we've only got 1 more quarter to play, but it's 12-5. So 7-goal lead they still have with 1 more quarter left to play, with only about 18 seconds left here. But 18 seconds is enough to get a goal for either one of these teams. Piper Lefevre wants that one really far back onto the near side. Good use of the body. That one goes out, though. And I believe that they're going to call this ball for the Tigers. And then it's picked off. Coming out of nowhere was Claridge. And she will hold on to this ball, try to make the pass off, but not enough time. One thing that I feel bad for both of these teams, they don't have the video scoreboard to kind of see how much time time is left. So it's hard to know. We are lucky up here in the booth that we can see how much time is left. But down on the field, I think they can see if they look at where the scores table is down below. But again, when you have that bigger scoreboard that you can look at easily, it's always usually easier to go to that one. Either way, still a 7-goal lead, 1 more quarter left to play. And I think for the Firebirds here, one of the things that they're going to want to do is make sure that they keep this lead and try and grow it back to get it close to 10 again if they can. Obviously, they want to get to 10 if they can. But you let your lead get cut into a little bit here, and it's from pretty good possessions from the Tigers. Let's give the Tigers some credit here as well. They've looked a lot better here in the second half than they did in the first half. On the offensive end, at the very least, they've actually been getting some opportunities on the offensive end. They're keeping the possession, which was something that they were struggling with early. But again, very young team. Not those being their woes is not too much of a surprise, right? Controlling the possession, making sure that they keep the ball, things like that. Those are where you expect them to have their struggles, and that's where they have been struggling. But this is a game that is still pretty well within hand for the Firebirds. They should still feel comfortable with their lead. But I think for what they want from themselves this year, expected to be second in the CCIW, they obviously want to push for first. Carroll, who has been a tough rival for them over the last few years, a team that is the team expected to be first in the CCIW, they want to have a very strong showing here. When you can put up and have a 10-goal lead as a win, it just feels significantly better than a single-digit lead. It just does. It always does. So we get ready for the start of quarter number 4. 12-5, the lead for the Firebirds over the Tigers. As it'll be Piper Lefevre in to take this opportunity at the draw against Mary Mason. As this one up into the air, onto the far side, and it bounces right into the cross of Driscoll. I believe that is Driscoll there. She makes a pass over to the near side for Gilliam. And that one over the head of Tegenkamp. And this is going to be turned over. So now an opportunity for the Firebirds. Augie Claridge making the quick pass off over to Nolan. Rosie Nolan back out on the field. Good to see her doing okay after she went down pretty hard earlier in this game. Goff getting it back to Claridge. Claridge over to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt now. They look to get set up offensively here as they work this one around and get it over to Nolan again. See where they're getting their offense set up. It looks like they're going to start on this near side with the dodge and maybe look for a player cutting free. Get a little on-ball pick. Getting free inside for the shot, top right corner. Caitlin Goff finds her name on the score sheet. Gets that lead back up now to 13-5. So 8-goal game once again. Momentum definitely back onto the side of the Firebirds.
A Firebirds goal by number 13, Caitlin Goff. The score, Carthage 13, DePauw 5, 14 minutes to play.
Still plenty of time, though, to get this lead to 10 for the Firebirds. Only 2 more goals will make that happen if they can keep the offense rolling. A couple of substitutions here. Looks like we're going to have number 24 for the Tigers come onto the field, and Corinne Nicholas. It's Piper Lefevre looking to take the face-off once again. Wins it over to the far side, but it goes right to Driscoll. So now they will go onto the offensive end for the Tigers. Driscoll running towards the middle of the field here as they look to get set up. Cutter coming through from that near side. Pass back out to Driscoll. Driscoll looking for another cutter that comes through. Gets the pass off, but the save is better from Kara Janes as she quickly tries to transition out for the clear, but it's a turnover instead. Maybe a little too quick to go there as Sullivan gets back control over to Driscoll. Driscoll from the middle of the field surveys from the point, passing it back over to the far side for Claire. They work this one back around the horn, back to X. Spinning away from one is Tasker. Tasker now coming over to the near side, finds a player free in towards the middle, shot and goal. I believe that was Kate Leone with that one. As she gets that goal right back. Gotta check the stick, of course, first. Stick is good. Goal is good. So the Tigers offensively looking significantly better here in the second half compared to the first half.
Your score, Carthage 13, DePauw 6. 13:05 remaining.
And we talked about it earlier that for Kara Janes, big shoes that she's been filling, she's been doing a pretty good job here. She's been doing really good on the clears for the most part. I think she rushed that pass a little too quickly. Made a great save, saw maybe an opportunity, and just cost herself. But that's okay. That'll be a learning experience for her. As quickly coming into the middle of the field, almost getting an opportunity was Goff. Ball back into her stick, and then whistle. And I think Goff's going to get a really good chance here now, as they will get set up around that fan. So will be Goff here. We're still getting everybody set up though. Goff starting with starting left-handed with the stick. She now gets to run in, and they're going to call her for a false start. Yep, she started a little early. Unfortunate. She was trying to, I think she was just trying to anticipate the whistle to give herself that little extra time, and it cost her. Unfortunate for the Firebirds. But that ball ends up back on the ground. Trying to pick it up, does Claridge. Good takeaway of the ball. Finding a player and a great opportunity coming inside. Shot, save made. Heitschmidt with a good opportunity, just couldn't finish it as it's over to the far side, over for Tegenkamp. Tegenkamp back to her goalie, passing it towards the middle, bounces away though, and comes back over to the Firebirds. It's Piper Lefevre with it now. 12:07 left to go in quarter number 4. Lefevre dodges past one player, lost the handle, and the ball goes back over to the Tigers. Quickly running down the middle of the field. Might have an odd player opportunity if they hurry for Mason. Passing it off to the far side. Dodging around one. And that one I think got blocked partially by Janes, as that one ends up back into the stick though of a Tiger as they keep control. Onto the near side, it's Tegenkamp. Tegenkamp spinning away from one. Getting inside. Looking for the shot opportunity. That bounces wide. Actually, it was Perea with the shot. Either way, the shot player was at X, so it stays here with the Tigers. Ball comes free on the ground, but a whistle, a little too aggressive, I think, on that stick check. So it will stay here with the Tigers. As pass comes back up top to Mason. They swing it around over to the far side, looking for the player right in the middle of Nolan, but the save made. Or sorry, Driscoll was Nolan with this, or James with the save. And now the clear over on the near side. Pass back into the middle. And I think they're going to say that she pushed for number 20 in Mary Mason. So that'll bring it back into that near side. But quick pass back into the middle to Isabella Kuyava. Kuyava looking for someone free. Ooh, nice grab of that pass. I believe that was Sydney Kuyava she made the pass off to. And now comes back over to Kara Janes. Janes passing it back over to the near side. Now running down the near sideline. And a pass back into the middle, just out of the reach, though, of Kuyava. And from sister to sister, they didn't have the connection there, and it causes a turnover. And it's Katie Sullivan with the ball. 10 minutes left to go here in quarter number 4. It comes over to Driscoll, making the pass back in towards the middle, trying to get a head of steam going, in the shot that bounces off and goes wide from Kaylee Clare. I think getting a piece of that one there was Janes. So Kara Janes with having to make a couple saves here in these last few minutes. And then we have a whistle go against the Firebirds. So Tigers are going to get the ball down low. And it comes back over to the near side to Clare. Clare looking in towards the middle, bounces free though, and right over to the goalie and Janes. She was looking for that quick transition pass. She had a player there. She could have led her with the pass. That's when she maybe probably could have, especially with how far that pass had to go. But either way, she still makes a good play, which gets it off to a player that gets the transition going. In the middle, it's Hannah Kim. Kim, ooh, she got hit hard up top there. Hopefully she's okay. That one I think might be, nope. Are they? Oh yes, it is a yellow card. Hopefully Kim's okay there. She got hit up high. Might have been head contact. I think that's what I saw the official make the call. 9:01 left to go here in quarter 4. And we get the restart finally. Kim making the pass over to the near side to Goff. And they will work it around here, get their offense set up. Schmidt from X, looking for players, cutting in, finds one there, spinning away from pressure, shooting and scoring. What a move from Augie Claridge. Got away from the pressure, got herself free inside, and gets the goal. The goal onslaught from Claridge continues. 14-6 now after the stick was deemed all right. So they've got themselves back to an 8-goal lead here with 8:45 left to go.
The score, Carthage 14, DePauw 6, 8:45 remaining.
So the one thing here too, we had those flurries earlier. It was looking like it was starting to blizzard. The snow has stopped. So it looks like we're getting a little bit lucky here as far as that is concerned, right? Like it's still a pretty cold day. About 32 degrees. These February games, it's kind of what you can expect. Weather's going to be fairly cold when you're talking about the Midwest here. And it's funny too that the fact that these two teams last year, they're playing in a snow game. They were canceled their game last year because of snow when the Firebirds went down to DePauw. Off, gets it over to Heichman. She gets past one, gets inside, takes the shot. Oh, she hasn't taken it yet. Now she takes the shot and scores. Actually, she passed that off. Sorry, that wasn't Heichman. She made the pass off to Higgins, and I believe it was Higgins who ended up with the goal. Heichman, though, was the one who created that opportunity. And I believe we have a good stick there, so 9-goal lead for the Firebirds with 8:18 left to go.
The score, Carthage 15, DePauw 6, 8:18 remaining.
So starting to get on the track again here for the Firebirds. The offense is starting to go again. That's one thing for sure, though. Their offense has been firing on all cylinders in this game. A lot of good opportunities. They've created a lot of good opportunities for themselves. As this one up, back towards the far sideline, and that's going to be picked up by Higgins. Higgins making a pass in towards the middle, finds the player there. Ooh, good stick check, frees that ball up, but it's still controlled by Kaylin Goff. Goff down the near side. Runs back towards the middle, finds a player on the far side in Claridge. Claridge looking to beat a player. has 3 in front of her, so she'll just slow it down instead. Let the offense get set back up. Piper Lefevre gives it back off over to Castle. Over to the near side for Goff. They work this one around. See where they get this offense set up if they want to look for something. Looking for that pass inside on that second cutter. Not quite able to get the pass, though, was Claridge and handle it. Instead, they'll just start to work this one back around again. Heitschmidt dodges away from one. Passes it back off. Looking for a player in the middle. Looking for somebody to get open there. And the goal! I don't know how she got that pass. Rosie Nolan makes this a 10-goal lead now with 7:16 left to go here in quarter number 4. So that clock will start to roll. As long as the stick is good, which it is. So it is a 16-6 game for the Firebirds. They finally get that 10-goal lead that they've been sort of chasing here, trying to grow it to that, and they finally have.
Goal line number 4, Rosie Nolan. The score, Carthage 16, DePauw 6. 6:45 remaining.
Lead got down to, I believe, 7, almost 6 at one point, and they've grown it back up here to 10. So the largest lead here for the Firebirds in this game. It's going to be Driscoll in there against Lefevre for this face-off. As that one went right into the cross of Caitlin Goff. Goff, one player behind her, has another player coming to put some pressure on. She's able to get away from them easily. Gives the ball off to Claridge. Passes it back down to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt from X, looking to get the offense set up there. A little bit of a fake pick. She runs over to the far side, back up to Lefevre. We'll see how they decide to set the offense up here. Last couple opportunities have come from below the net, where they've been starting the play from to create their opportunities. We'll see if they continue with this, or if they look to do something different. Although tried to do the give and go was Higgins, and I believe that was Goff was the other player that she was trying to do that with. Didn't quite work out, was sniffed out, and instead it will be a clear attempt for the Tigers, and I think they're going to get a little bit of help here from a shove. Seems like players on either side were shoving, but Tigers get the call. And that clock running here quickly with 5:16 left to go with a 10-goal lead. Oh, we got a green card actually. I didn't even see that. So green card going on to Sydney Kuyeva. Didn't see what she did to, I guess they called the push, but either way, Tigers with an opportunity to try and get this lead back down to 9. As they get their offense set up. Plenty of time on the shot clock here to try and get this one, but time running out in this game with 4:38 left to go. From X is where they will start. Pass it back up top for Driscoll. Driscoll into the middle, and that shot goes wide. Underwood's stick, I think, got checked there a little bit, or she hit the stick of the player as she was taking her shot. Either way, nice little spin inside, and that one just bounces in for Rosalie Tasker, who came from X. Just a little slow by Kara James to get onto her to try and stop her from getting inside from the goal. And the goal is good, so the clock will stop as it's back down to 9.
Tigers goal line number 17, Rosalie Tasker. The score, Carthage 16, DePauw 7. 4:13 to play.
But that's what you need to do, and one thing you've got to give the Tigers credit for, when they've had player-up opportunities, they've taken advantage of them and they've gotten goals. That'll be one area I think that the Firebirds will probably focus on here moving forward, is that they've given up maybe a few too many of those opportunities. And defensively, they're a strong unit, so you'd think that they should be able to handle that a little bit better than they have today. Early on in the season, though, too, it's a lot of communication when you're talking about doing that, and you have a new voice back there in Kara James, who's the one running everything. as far as the goal. I think Piper got called for moving early there, so Driscoll will get this possession to start off for the Tigers. Driscoll looking to come in, finds a player on her far side, and Underwood. Underwood gets a lot of pressure put on her, tried to make the pass away, but ends up turning it back over, was Higgins. This one ends up, ooh, that's a missed errant pass. It's like looking like earlier for the Tigers, and a lot of errant passes like that. So a turnover, and it's back over to the Firebirds. Trying to get that lead back up to 10 if they can. Kara Janes making the pass over to the far side. Ball's bouncing around. Oh, trying to pick it up off the ground there. She kind of lost it for a second. Oh, it is popping out of her stick there again. And now it'll be an opportunity maybe for the Tigers here. Good job keeping her away from getting inside, though, for that player running down that far sideline. As they work this one back up top over to Coffee. Kai Coffee. Looking for the pass over to the middle of the field to Sullivan. Sullivan dodging towards her left hand. We'll just flip it off over to Driscoll. Driscoll trying to get free from the player in front of her. Gets around one, but Piper Lefevre will come and help on the defense. Driscoll now inside. Good save again from Kara Janes. As she now goes behind the net, sets the clear up. Pass over to the near side. Players started running there to try and slow this down. But getting away from that pressure, spinning away from it again is Higgins. Higgins losing the ball for a moment back onto the turf. Sorry, that was Kuyava. That 9 kind of looked like an 8 from afar. As it's in the middle of the field, ball ends up on the ground, and now it gets to Piper Lefevre. Lefevre, she hurries. She might create an odd player opportunity. Getting inside, shooting and scoring. Heitschmidt with the goal with 2:08 left to go. Gets the lead back to 10. Great pass off from Lefevre to spring her free on the odd player situation. And stick was good, so goal is good. 17-7 for the Firebirds.
And a Firebird goal for number 2, Shannon Heitschmidt.
A great offensive game from the Firebirds for sure in this one. They will definitely be happy with how the offense has started off this season. Giving up 7 goals here. Well, technically 6 because one was an own goal. The defense has been pretty good as well. I think that the defensive end, and especially I think, again, I was talking about it earlier, but their player down defense will be what they will probably focus on the most, moving at least for how things have went in this game. That's one area that they'll want to work on. As a minute left in this one, with the ball being picked up by Coffee over on the far side. She runs down the far sideline. Nobody coming to her, so she continues to run this one in. Tries to get inside, just can't get on the other side of that crease. And now the ball ends up on the ground. Tried to pick it up was Janes. Can't quite get it to her stick. Instead, it's a pass into the middle. Shot over the net, though, from Sullivan. But plenty of players close. I'm a little surprised that she went and jumped into the snow pile there to get that ball for Underwood. Underwood looking to make that pass in towards the middle. Ball comes free onto the turf. Trying to pick up that ground ball. Bunch of players in on the scrum, and it pops out free over to Keller. As they get this one back up top, looking for the player inside, and Driscoll, she gets open and scores. So Bridget Driscoll getting one of those goals back for the Tigers, gets it back down below 9. And for Driscoll, she was the leading scorer last year on DePauw. Had 60 points last year. 34 goals and 26 assists. So, been a pretty good player for them in this game. It's not going to be enough to get them a win, though, but it gets the lead below 10, which, again, it always feels better to have that 10-goal win. And you lose in single digits. Yeah, you still lost, but it just feels a little worse when it's a 10 10-goal difference instead of a 9. But that's going to do it for game number 1. Congrats to the new head coach and Maddie Burney on getting her win here in her first ever game as a head coach of this Carthage Firebirds team. So 17-8 is the final score here for the Firebirds as they get the win. And this is a team, again, a lot of expectations coming on to them going into the start of this season, expected to finish second in the CCIW, just behind Carroll, who's expected to finish first. So, a good showing here in this first game. Plenty of things to work on, of course, but it's early on in the season. I think they'll be very happy, though, with the showing that they put forward here in their first game, which was supposed to be the second game. But a good win for the Firebirds. For the Tigers, a very young team for sure. You can definitely see that with the way that they played. They came on a lot better, though, in the second half, even though the lead continued to grow for the Firebirds. You at least saw them have some better offensive possessions. Quite a few saves made by their goalie as well, because the offensive pressure was pretty high from the Firebirds. So, a team that's going to have some growing pains for sure, it seems like, in the Tigers. But when you're a young team, that's to be expected. Still, for a game where they lost by 9, it isn't the worst showing you could have ever seen, that's for sure. So, plenty of them to have as far as positives and a lot of room to grow for the Tigers. But for the Firebirds, a lot of room for them to grow as well. And they have high expectations for themselves going into this season. A lot of incredible players who started off the season the way that they probably wanted to offensively. And we will take a quick timeout, come back with some stats, and then get going here.